Good early afternoon, everyone. T-Speaker 222 XRP Future Millionaire with the side bet on XLM and Future Digibyte OG. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. I want a special shout out to Mother Second Choice and to Mr. Anthony Carter for allowing me to continue to play their copyrighted music. Oh yes, I have the express written consent of Mother Second Choice, and if you play their music on YouTube, you should too. So anyhow, what I want to get into real quick, make sure to hit that like button, turn that bell notification to all, and for God's sake, go check out my ISO headquarters and my Swing Traders Anonymous. I've done a couple fantastic updates today, and which involve, let's see, MFT, we've got, who else did we do? We did some XRP, XLM, we also did Shiba, Doge. There's been a whole bunch of stuff mixed into here. Bitcoin. We covered a lot of stuff today, so between the couple channels. But I want to talk about XLM real quick, and it's the same concern I have with Doge that I'll share with you in a second. So when you take XLM, so we've got this wider that we could say, okay, we could come all the way back here, right? And this is what some people are doing. Support all the way up to resistance, down to support. Well, that's not working. What happens here is, okay, then we come down. Well, what if this is the start of a new support? Resistance, resistance, support, support, resistance, back down to almost support, now back up. What I'm saying is that out grand scope for XLM is invalidated, in my opinion, unless we can break up this, because we've used the support resistance very nicely, you know, a couple times like this. So we start at support up here, drop to resistance, back up to support, drop back down towards resistance, back towards support. I mean, it's staying within this perfectly. And much like Doge, it's the same thing. Everybody's expecting this huge rise in Doge. I believe they're being fleece heisted and shisted, as Vincenzo's Gold Crypto Investing would say. Because, oh yeah, I needed to hit that. But I think we're being shisted, guys. We're being shafted. Because they're leading you to believe that, okay, on Doge. Ready? Support, resistance, support, right? They're not telling you about this part. So what I'm saying is we've got resistance, support, support, resistance, resistance, resistance. That's telling me that that other pattern's already invalidated, and we're going to come up to 40 cents once we bounce off of the bottom, or 44 cents to complete the inverted head and shoulders. But first we got to create the inverted right shoulder, and that's what I've drawn out. So I think that's what's going on with Doge. And I think everybody's being shafted by YouTube, because the people who are doing technicals on YouTube just have simply no fucking idea what they're talking about. And they don't consider what's happening in patterns, like with Doge and XLM, what just happened here, guys. That shorter time frame is all that really matters. It's not. So you delete this. You can go back as far as you want, but when you start to look at confluency, I'm sorry, but the more confluent pattern for XLM is something like that. Like we've got some kind of uptrend starting there, but we've got a massive trend, you know, to where if you bring this out, it'll eventually meet. But it doesn't seem like, even when you come from the top trend, it's going to meet out there somewhere. But it seems like that top part's been invalidated. We're not getting to that top part, because we've been rejected many times right here. So there's no way we're coming back up here. Not right now. It's not happening. Not unless we can break through some levels here. And with XRP is easy as pie when you break it down like this in the daily. Easy, does it? It's likely running out of steam here. It can still push up like we've been saying. This 13% up to $1.23, and that's what everybody's waiting for. Because that would be back to the top of the symmetrical triangle. At least that's what I'm waiting for, because that's my triangle. So this is what's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and this is what we need to watch. Nothing more, nothing less. XRP, support down here, resistance. Filtered around the box a little bit, didn't quite come up to resistance. Came down to support. Support. Resistance. Is it going to come up to resistance again? We don't know, but the support's going to be tested a few more times in the symmetrical triangle. That's just the way it goes. Make no mistake about it, I don't make the rules, but that's just the way it goes. So, and then you look at Bitcoin, and we brought it out the same way in Bitcoin, guys. And the same thing I said about XRP, I don't necessarily like going way back there with Bitcoin, because you can say support and up to resistance, right? Support, resistance, support, 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 resistance. Why not just pull it into here from when we actually made the run up? Nah, I can see why I like it like that. I mean, it doesn't really matter, but you could just come here and make it a more confluent pattern. Just say, okay, we've got, just so it looks a little neater. But I still think that farther out plays because it's the same support. But you've got resistance, support, 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 resistance again, which means the next logical thing is for it to start trading back in the zone if it doesn't break through this. And if we were to draw it and make it a little bit like, oh, this is where we had to break through without drawing the top, it's unbelievable how it all meets in the same spot. Ghost? My cat, it's raining, so she's like, let me in. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. So, and everything's holding true. So we got to be very careful here, because if these are, oh, I mean, it's not even with XRP, it's in the symmetrical triangle. It's been in it for a very long time. And XLM is the same way. It just took a little bit longer to get to the top. That's why we can break it out. And then if we break it across, it's still confluent. It still holds. But I like it, you know, like this, so that we can see where it started right here with XLM. So that's what I'm seeing, guys. Let me know in the comments if I'm a fucking moron. But make sure to hit that like button, or if you think I am a moron, for the love of God, hit that dislike button. What are you doing?